Hey, it's Nick from Arch City Poker, archcityplo.com, and in today's video we're going to talk about limping in live low stakes games. So, should we limp at all? If we are able to limp, when should we do it? General rule of thumb is I don't believe that you should ever be open limping. You shouldn't open a pot with a limp because generally that means that you're pretty much always out of position, and I think more importantly than anything, you're going to be paying a lot as far as rake is concerned. You're just going to be playing too many hands. You're going to be playing too many hands without a range advantage. You're going to be out of position, like I said. You're pretty much just playing bingo like the rest of the players at the table, and there's not really a skill edge in that. So in general, I would avoid limping at all costs. Now, I used to be in the camp of you should just never limp, period. I'm not quite in that camp anymore. I've even implemented a few subtle changes in my game as far as when I am playing. Generally, if it's like a deep 1-2 or 1-3, or if it's like 2-5, that's where you see most of the limping occurring. Obviously, this video is pertaining to live low stakes, so that makes sense. But if you are on the button or maybe on the cutoff, like basically you're in position on most of the field, and you have a hand facing multiple limpers that's just a little bit too weak to raise with, maybe say pocket sixes down to pocket deuces, maybe some weaker suited aces, I think those hands can fit in as part of your like over limping range. You could probably fit in a few suited connectors um, as well. And I think that will be especially true if you feel like your table or the population that you play within is very weak and very passive overall. Also very non-observant, like they won't really care that you just limp rarely, and it's probably pretty transparent what kinds of hands you have. But that will be the rare scenario where I do think you can limp. Now, a lot of players will ask me also, what about in the small blind when I'm getting such a good price to just throw in, one more dollar, or pretty much I'm just already in there for, half a blind essentially. I think you have to be careful there because you're guaranteed to be out of position the rest of the hand. So you still want to have some form of nuttiness, like some kind of hand that will play pretty well multi-way. That could be really all the same hands that I already mentioned. You could probably throw in like a king jack offsuit, some of those like weaker offsuit broadways that just aren't going to be really strong enough to raise from that position. But otherwise, I wouldn't get too involved with a hand like 10 deuce suited. It's a situation where if you are like 5-6 ways, you flop a flush draw, you don't really know where you're at with that. If you do hit your flush, could be some reverse implied odds with that. So just be a little bit careful in the small blind. But main takeaway from this quick vlog is just overall try to avoid limping really at all costs. Especially don't open pots with a limp. If it's too weak to raise, just go ahead and fold. But there are some rare scenarios that I alluded to where you can, in fact, go ahead and over limp or complete your small blind. So if there are any questions or comments about this video, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.